Till now we did not know even the ABC of devotional path, because the religious teachers whom we used to be in contact with, they themselves did not know who is God, what is He like, where does He live, and how do we get Him. They did not have any proof, and out of ignorance we started calling God Kabir as a poet. The knowledge he has given is a composite knowledge of all 4 Vedas, 18 Puran, 6 scriptures, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Quran and Puran, the Bible. God has given knowledge of what was already inside them, and also the true spiritual knowledge which was not available in these scriptures. Even those devotional methods had also been told in his books. He was God, even though we started calling him a poet. So, the way God comes in the second type of situation, He acquires a child form in every era and gradually grows up. So at that time when He appears in child form, it is also a sign to recognize God that He does not drink milk of any mother during childhood. He only drinks milk of virgin cows. So, His upbringing in this spectacle is done by virgin cows. It is explained in Vedas. Rig Ved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 1, Mantra 8 and 9 are proofs God takes up 3 positions. When He comes in the form of an infant, then He is raised by the virgin cows. And God Kabir ji had performed this spectacle when he had come 600 years ago. He had performed the same spectacle when he was 25 days old and was not eating anything. His parents got worried. Lord Shiva came from Shivpuri on the order of God Kabir, because, for example, every state has a minister. If the Prime Minister comes here, then all arrangements are done by the Chief Minister, and the other ministers, they all stand in front of him. So in this way, these are ministers here: Sri Brahma ji of Rajogun department, Sri Vishnu ji of Satgun department, and Sri Shiv ji of Tamogun department. So till the level of Lord Shiva, because Niru and Nima, the weavers, were actually Brahmin in that birth. Gauri Shankar and Saraswati were their real names. The Muslims made them embrace Islam by force. Hindus separated them from their caste, so earlier they were living on the charity that they received. Now even that stopped. So he started the work of weaving, and for this reason they were known as weavers. When they were Brahmins, they were worshippers of Lord Shiva. Even though they had become Muslims, the memory of Lord Shiva was still haunting them. So Niru and Nima then prayed to Lord Shiva, "O God, O Shiva, first we did not have any children. With your grace, you gave this child on the lotus flower. Now he is not eating anything. It has been 25 days. They were crying, looking at baby's face. Then by the inspiration of God, Lord Shiva came there and took God in his hands and said, "Show me your child." Shivji came in a sage form, and when Shiva took God Kabir in his hands, then God Kabir said, "O Mahatma ji, tell them to get a virgin cow, and you shall put your hand on the cow, on the virgin cow. She will yield milk. Then I will drink milk." The same was done. So pious souls, it is an event that occurred 600 years ago. It is not a fable of today, not even a legend that this servant is telling. Be assured of one thing, that the words that this servant is saying are all certified. And now, let me show you this. See now, this is Kabir Sagar. It was written by Dharamdas Sahib Ji, who was a beloved soul of God around 600 years ago. He had written down whatever incidents had happened with God, that God had told him about creation of nature and his spectacles of upbringing as a child. It was written at that time, around 600 years ago. Today, our holy scripture certified this. Let me show you in Kabir Sagar. See, this is Kabir Sagar, all 11 parts. Khemraj Sri Krishna Das Publications, Mumbai. This is published by the followers of Kabir sect, refined by Bharat Pathik Swami Yugalanand Bihari, printer and publishers Khemraj Sri Krishna Das, President Sri Venkateshwara Press, Khemraj Sri Krishna Das Marg, Mumbai. Let me give you a little verbal explanation that God appeared on the lotus flower in the form of a newborn baby. Niru and Nima were weavers, a weaver couple. Niru, the husband's name, Nima was his wife. So now, when the child did not drink or eat anything, after a few days, Niru went to consult Ramananji, because when such problems used to arise, they took advice from sages and saints. Swami Ramananji was considered as a great man, a wise man, a knower of Vedas, Gitas and Purans. And he was a well-known Maharishi, Panditji. Panditji, who were Brahmin gurus at that time, they did not make disciples of other castes, but they surely told them remedies to such problems. This is Kabir Sagar. On its page number 74, Gyan Sagar, this is page number in the bracket, 74 page number, and it is chapter called Gyan Sagar. Now it is written that Sun Julha Man Bhayo Ananda Jimmy Chakor Payo Nishichanda. This means by getting God, they both became so happy, just like a chakor bird becomes happy by seeing the moon. Le sut chalai harsh man kinha, tason puni as bole hi linaha. सुत काशी को ले चले, लोग देखन ते आव, अन्न पानी बख्शे नहीं, did not eat anything, जूल्हा शोक जनाव. When Niru and Nima brought God to their home with God, people who lived around started coming to see the baby. God had such a beautiful body that no child was as beautiful as him. This is why people from nearby towns came to see him, and Niru and Nima were worried that the child was not eating anything. He will survive only a few days. They were very sad with it. See here, Sut Kashi ko le chale, log dekhan te aav, an pani baksh nahi, julha shok manav. The baby was not eating anything. So the weaver was very depressed. Tab julha man keen tinhava, Ramanand so kahin utpana. He went to Swami Ramanandji and narrated the whole story. मैं सुत पायो बड़ा गुणवंता, कारण कौन बखै नहीं संता. That oath Mahatma Ji, what is the reason that he is not eating anything? Ramanand ध्यान तब धारा, जूल्हा सो तब वचन उचारा. He told this to the weaver. पूर्व जन्म तय ब्राह्मण जाति, हरि सेवा कीन्ही सी भली भांति. कछु तुव सेवा हरि की चूका, ताते भयो जूल्हा को रूपा. प्रीति प्रभु गही तोरी लीन्हा, ताते उद्यान में सुत तो ही दीन्हा. That you were a Brahmin in previous birth where you forgot the devotion of God. You made some mistake because of which you became a weaver now. And seeing your devotion, God gave you this son in the jungle. Look at this. प्रीति प्रभु गही तोरी लीना, ताते उद्यान में सुत तो ही दीन्हा. This is Niru, not Nuri. This is misprint here. Hey Prabhu, jas kinho tas payo. Niru, the weaver, said, I got as I had done. आरत हो तो दर्शन आयो, I have come to you as I am in trouble. सो कहिए उपाई गुसाई बालक शुधावंत कछु खाई, रामानंद अस युक्ति विचारा, तुम सुत कोई ज्ञानी अवतारा, योर सन इज अ सेपियंट. बछिया जाही बैल नहीं लागा, सो ले ठाड़ है करे ते ही आगा. He said, bring a virgin cow, whom ox had not touched. बछिया जाही बैल नहीं लागा, सो ले ठाड़ है करे ते ही आगा. Bring that cow in front of your child. The cow would then give milk, hide that milk, and when the child is hungry, give that milk to him. Then give it to the boy. जूल्हा एक बछिया ले आवा, चलो दूध कौ मर्म न पावा, चलो दूध जूल्हा हर्षाना, राख छिपाई काहू नहीं जाना. Now here the word is दूत. These writers have messed it up like these Kabir Panthis tried to make some changes while reprinting it according to their understanding. Now, who was that Doot, the messenger? The same God met Garibdas Sahib Ji of village Chhodani, district Jhajjar, and this servant was telling you that God, Kabir, takes care of us, all of his children, in 3 types of situations, and the same is written in Rig Ved, Mandal number 9, Sukt number 1, Mantra 8, that God acquires 3 different types of bodies in order to nurture and look after us. So, second type of situation that this servant is telling you is when he comes in the child form. And the third type of situation is wherever and whenever God wishes. He appears in the form of a sage, a Mahatma, a saint, to meet his beloved souls, good souls, and acquaints them with true spiritual knowledge in order to prove God to be God, because Satan has flourished the false spiritual knowledge and destroyed true spiritual knowledge. Therefore, God prepares his witness, those great souls, to Satlok and leaves them back. So in the third type of situation, that God comes and meets those beloved souls. Whom did he meet in this Kaliyug? Those who are in the knowledge of this servant. Respected Dharamdas Sahib Ji, respected Malukdas Sahib Ji, respected Dadu Sahib Ji, respected Nanak Sahib Ji, who is the founder of Sikhism. God, Satpurush, came and met them from Satlok, where he lives in the form of a saint and a Zinda Mahatma. Respected Garibdas Sahib Ji of village Chhodani, district Jhajjar of Haryana. Respected Ghisa Sahib Ji of village Khekda, district Meerut of Uttar Pradesh. Out of these great men, God had given complete spiritual knowledge again to the revered Garibdas Sahib Ji. Why? Because Kal said, till Kaliyug will approach 5500 years, by then I will run 12 Kabir sects by your name, and will make many other sects who will distort your true knowledge. That is why God took respected Garibdas Sahib Ji to Sachkhand and acquainted him with the complete spiritual knowledge and fed complete spiritual knowledge in him. That pious soul, Garibdas Sahib Ji, got it written by uttering from his lotus mouth. It has been written in that, Shiv atre Shivpuri se avgat badan vinod, और महके कमल और लिया ईश को गोद, अन ब्यावर को दूहत है दूध दिया तत्काल, और पीवे कबीर ब्रह्मगति तान शिव भय दयाल. That is, Shiva had come from Shivalok in the form of a saint, and then he had placed his hand on that virgin cow as per God's orders. God was in his lap in the infant form, and then that virgin calf started yielding milk, a new vessel was brought from the potter in which that milk was collected. That milk comes from Satlok in the virgin cows. For God himself, it comes from his own place. God says, what do I eat from this fake world where everyone is a beggar? So the milk came from Satlok for God through the virgin cows. Cow is a sacred animal, which is sacred among all animals. So God used to drink that milk. So the messenger came and went away. That Mahatma went away, the Lord of 3 loks, universes, who came in the form of a saint, went back. So the rest of the description is about it. They are misguided, they do not know. So here they connected to Ramananji. Miserable people do go to saints. The great men, he told him the remedy. He told that your son is not a common child. He is a great wise man, and whatever is the exact reality this servant is telling you, which is the absolute truth, even then we have to understand this point, that whatever Vedas say, what Vedas tell, who did that spectacle? The one who has done the same as described in the Vedas, only he is God. The traits of God that are written in the Vedas, and the one who has done this spectacle, only he is God. He is the real God. So who showed that spectacle? Now I am showing you Kabir Sagar, and then we'll show you from the Vedas. It is written in Vedas too. It will be easy to understand. We will recognize our Supreme Father. Now it has been proven that when God Kabir came in the form of an infant, in his infancy, the spectacle of his upbringing was done from virgin cows. This is proved in Kabir Sagar. This is not written today. When God had come 600 years ago, at that time it was written by respected Dharamdas Sahib Ji and was protected by the Kabir Panthis. Now let's show you what the Vedas say about God, what spectacles he shows. Whoever is Narayan, only he is God. In reality, Kabir Sahib is the one who performs such spectacles. Now let us show you in Vedas that when that God comes in the form of a child, his upbringing is done with the milk of virgin cows. Look at this. Now we are reading Vedas. These are the Vedas. We have shown you already. Now let us show you again from where it has been published. Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, Ramlila Maidan, New Delhi. And these are its translators and printers. Prince Offset Printers, 1510 Pataudi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. And now we will show you Rigved Mandal number 9 and Sukt number 1. Now see, Rigved Bhasha Bhashyam Ath Navam Mandal. 9th Mandal starts from here. This is its first mantra. What is it written in it? That he, Saumya Swabhav Paramatman, that is, the glory of God is going on. Saumya, so means God. Keep this in mind. It will help you further in understanding this knowledge. This was mantra number 1 of Mandal number 9, Sukt number 1. We are now reading its second mantra. It is written here, He Paramatman Aap. This is the glory of God. Keep this in mind. Now in this third mantra, He Paramatman Aap. In the fourth mantra, He Paramatman Aap. Isn't it glory of God? In the fifth mantra, Paramatman. This is the glory of God. Now in the sixth mantra, Mandal number 9, Sukt 1 in mantra 6. Hey Paramatman, isn't it the glory of God? And now, here in the 7th and 8th mantra, the disciples of Maharishi thought that if we write God here now, then in the coming mantras there is glory of God, that he comes in the child form and holds 3 types of body, then the public might understand that God is in human form. So here they did not write God but wrote Purush, a person. See here, Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 1, mantra number 7. Till the 6th mantra, they have written Hey Paramatman. Now in the 7th, their intellect again went a bit down. They wrote here Tam us purush ko. They wrote that man instead of God. Well, here again in the 3rd, us purush ko. Now this concept will also have to be cleared that purush means God. Now we will see Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 1 and mantra number till 6th. They have written God and started writing Purush, man, in 7th. Us Purush ko, that God was to be written here. Look here. The meaning of that God is written as that man. There is no point in this. It is all messed up here. Now Purush, man, means God, complete God. We will call it complete God. So what is being said here? Fear situations motivate the complete God. That is, when there is unrest in the world and the spiritual masters become ignorant, their only purpose becomes to rob the public, and there is restlessness everywhere. When all the people become unhappy, then God also becomes sad, because we are all his children, he is a father. Only one's own can feel one's sorrows. So after being motivated by those fiery situations, God had come 600 years ago. He imparted such spiritual knowledge that there became absolute peace in society, which was still there now. There was no loot. Everyone lived with love. People feared God before hurting someone. Now this fire has spread all over the world. Money has become the only motive for everyone. No shame is left. Nobody is afraid of God. Now, to restore that peace and devotion, God had already spoken that when 5,500 years of Kaliyug would pass, then I will send my servant and will give him complete knowledge. By the way, God had said I would come myself in the 12th sect, in Garib Das's sect. When God did not come, he sent this servant with complete spiritual knowledge and full power. Now the peace will be restored. The fierce situations, that is, the dangerous situations here, motivate God. Then that God appears in a beautiful body, like he came 600 years ago. Even at that time, robbery was in full force in the spiritual path. Worshipping of ghosts was going on. Everyone was put on the wrong side of devotional path. God came and re-established peace. 64 lakh people followed that God whom everyone used to call a weaver. If he was not a god, then 600 years ago, having 64 lakh disciples of a weaver in India was not a joke. God charged them with devotion and had given them happiness. The progeny who were born in their homes were very virtuous souls. It was still going on. Peace was prevailing in the society. But in the last 50 years, the ethics and morals are falling, and now it's the limit. People only see money in everything. Someone is drinking alcohol, someone is eating meat. It has become the norm. Someone is sniffing drugs, someone is smoking. Whole mankind has been contaminated and environment has been polluted. So now this devotional path will reinstate the devotion and peace in the world. It is the word of God. It will surely happen. Now look what is written. What are the Vedas telling about God? We will now read Rigved, Mandal 9, Sukt 1, Mantra 8. Us Purush means the God. Ko Ugra Gatiyan means awful situations. Prerna karti hain. और भासमान शरीर को means beautiful body. वह पुरुष, that God, प्राप्त होता है, acquires. And how it happens? Now it is written here that in which forms God 3 प्रकार से दूसरों का वरण means to bless. मधुमय शरीर मिलता है. Understand that God acquires 3 types of bodies to nurture others and to bless others. 3 types. Now, the first type has been told to you that God lives on the top, where the beauty of his body is like a human, visible. He looks like a king. He has a crown on his head, a parasol, and he's sitting on the holy throne. And the brightness of one pore of God's body is equivalent to the light from millions of suns and moons. The light of rest of the body can be estimated, and when God comes in the second position, he takes the form of an infant. So the second situation is being told. See, Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 1, Mantra 9. Now we will read, this is 9th. It is written that Abhi imam dhan ut shrinanti dhenava. Dhenava means cow, shishum. Shishu means an infant. Ussom means God. In Dry pathway, it means im means that. Somam means God. Purush means that God, because here so means God. Look at this initially. Here word Som in the first mantra of the same Sukt, Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 1, Mantra 9, has the word Som, Som. Som means God. So here we will take it as Som. Now there is word Som in Rigved Mandal 9, Sukt 1, Mantra 9. To that God who comes in the infant form, in the childhood, in infancy, Abhi Adhanya. Adhanya means, here they wrote non-violent. Abhi means completely. Adhanya means virgin. Here in our region, in Haryana, a cow who has never been milked means who has never given birth to a calf is called as a virgin, Adhanya, because in our language we have some words of Sanskrit, some of Punjabi and of other languages as well. Like now we use so many words of English in our language. In the same way, some of our words have been mixed in this language. So Adhanya means virgin, Abhi Adhanya means completely virgin, and Dhenu means cows. When that God comes in the form of an infant, his upbringing is done by the virgin cows. This is written in Vedas, and which God has done that. You have the biographies of Sri Krishna, Sri Ramachandra, whom you used to believe as God, or you can show the history of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. If they ever drank the milk of a virgin cow, then who is God? Kabir is God. And Kabir who? The one who came in Kashi, the weaver. Now look, we are reading this Rigved, Mandal number 9, Sukt 1, in Mantra 9, that God comes in the form of an infant. Abhi Adhanya, we will read it as a virgin. Dhenavaha means cow. They make him satisfied, that is, they bring him up. Wonderful. His spectacle of upbringing is done by the virgin cows. And which God is brought up like this? Kabir God. It was certified by Kabir Sagar. We'll read Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 86 and Mantra 26. It states that कि यज्ञ करने वाले यजमानों के लिए परमात्मा, यज्ञ means religious ceremony, करने वाले यजमान means devotees, for devotees who worship God, सब रास्तों को सुगम करता हुआ, easing all routes, उनके विघ्नों meaning problems का मर्दन करता है, that is destroys them, making them pure, and simplifying his appearance, because as this servant had told you that God's look is very bright in Satlok. If he comes here as it is with the same body, the brightness of whose one hair follicle is equal to the combined light of millions of suns and millions of moons, we cannot see that much light with our naked eyes. We cannot see even the one sun. There are millions of suns and millions of moon in a single follicle. So much light. So that's why God comes by simplifying his form. Just like in a room, there is a tube light of 1000 watt, 500 watt, 100 watt and 0 watt or 10 watts. then by switching off all of them, if only a 10-watt tube or a 5-watt tube is switched on, then whatever light desired of it will become available. The rest are also present, but they are switched off. Similarly, the body of that divine is so radiant that to reduce its brightness, he switches off his radiance and only acquires a body with a mild glow in the world. Here's the proof. We are reading Rig Ved Mandal number 9, Sukt 86, Mantra 26. अपने रूप को सरल करता हुआ. So the God comes by simplifying his form. वो कांतिमय परमात्मा. See this. They have messed up here. See this. This is Kabir. We say it as Kabir. Say B. If we say Vedas as Vedas, then here Kabir is written as Kavir. By separating the words, they have removed R and put upsarg. They have given it a meaning. By put upsarg, they have written the meaning of Kavi as omniscient. No poet is omniscient, neither has any poet ever been to date. Only God is omniscient. They should not have given it a meaning here. They have committed a blunder by giving it a meaning. If the glory of a poet is mentioned somewhere and the word poet is written there, then there its meaning can be written as poet. Even then it cannot be interpreted as omniscient. So here they should have written as Kabir Dev. This is Yajurved. We will show you the proof. Like this book is Yajurved. Above it is R. Now let me show you the evidence in it. See, this is Yajurved. It has been translated by Maharishi Dayanand. This publisher is the Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, 2/5 Maharishi Dayanand Bhavan, Ramlila Maidan, New Delhi. It has been translated by Maharishi Dayanand and it is printed from here. Let us take you to this 36th chapter, Shat Risho Adhyay. This is 36th chapter, and here we will see this is Yajurved. See here, its first mantra reads, Richam Vacham Prapadya Mano Yajuhu Prapadya. This is word Yaju. It has 2 dots. Now it has been translated by Maharishi Dayanandji. See, in this the word Yaju, they have written its meaning as Yajurved. Absolutely right. This is the glory of Yajurved, and he had to write Yajurved here with R. We call it Yajurbed, Yajurveda. So here it has been written Yajurveda, which is absolutely correct. If they had written its meaning here, then how would we have understood whose glory it is? As the glory is being sung of Yajurved, it would have been a blunder. Similarly, these translators had to write the meaning of Kavir as Kabir Dev. Here the meaning of Kavir, even with the upsarg, must have been written as Kabir Dev. That is the name of that God is Kabir Dev. Kabir Dev. Kabir Dev means Sahib, God. We call him Kabir. They should have written Kabir Dev. Dev means God and Kabir means Kabir. We started calling him Kabir Sahib in our local language. We say V as B and Kabir as Kabir Dev, Kabir Sahib, Kabir God, Kabir Allah, Allahu Akbar. In Vedas, he is called Kabir Dev. In our native tongue or local language, he is called Kabir Sahib. And in Quran Sharif, he is called as Allahu Akbar, that is Allah Kabir. He is the same who had lived as a weaver in Kashi. The great men have also certified that Hum Sultani Nanak Tare Dadu ko उपदेश दिया, जाट जुलाहा भेद न पाया वो काशी माहे कबीर हुआ. अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड का एक रति नहीं भार और सतगुरु पुरुष कबीर हैं ये कुल के सिरजनहार.